Albert on this Zoom with us. Albert Muir is one of the partners. I just recently heard about PunkPanda. I'm super excited about it. And I thought it would be fun for us to do a little Zoom and you guys would get to meet one of the higher ups, you know? So Albert, how's it going?
Oh, it's going great. I'm here in the Philippines. It's 1:30 in the morning and you're there in Colombia. It's about 1:30 in the afternoon, right?
Yeah, we're like just opposite ends completely in time zones.
Yes. So, and we're truly becoming global very, very quickly by demonstrating just this call right here.
Well, it's crazy how fast this company is growing. And, you know, I get hit up probably 5 times a day. People are asking me, have you heard of Panda? I was like, I was just going to text you. You know, it just seems like it's going viral so quickly. And I think because it's free, which is kind of the big thing now, right? I mean, nobody wants to pay for anything. It's free and it's value. You know, it's better than WhatsApp. It's better than Telegram. It's better than the current apps that are out there. So, I mean, I guess, you know, let's get into how did you first hear about PunkPanda? How did you get involved? Did you guys develop the technology? Did you run across the technology? It's the world's best texting platform, and we'll get into that in a second, that pays you in crypto to use it. But how did you guys, I heard about it because my friend Brian texted me and he's like, don't miss this. And I missed out on Shiba and I missed out on Hex and I missed out on Polymath. Heard about it when it was 2 cents. Now it's 70 cents. Et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So how did you first come across this technology or develop it, or how did it start?
Myself and Tuan, actually, your good friend there in California, we got pictures of the actual PunkPandas. There were 5 of them, and the person said, hey, there's actually a messaging app. He goes, but isn't this brand cool? And I kind of looked at those pandas and I said, yeah, this is really cool, especially for Asia. You know, I've spent my last 7 years here in Asia, and I said, there could be something to this. So they invited me on some calls and they explained to me how they had this military encryption app that would keep everything nice and safe and secure. And I started sitting there thinking about it. Does somebody really want like another messaging app? And I'm thinking, yeah, those PunkPandas, they look really cool, but it's going to be really hard to market this because we're going to be competing against everybody else that says they have a secure messaging app also. Even if this one's much better, you know, how do you actually market it and stuff? And then I was actually on the 3rd phone call and I was basically wrapping up with a couple people, which was Marcus Schubert, who was the one that actually introduced the PunkPandas to me. And I knew the person that actually created them. I'd actually met him once at a Bangkok event. And that was because in Hong Kong, I was the CEO of one company. He was being the CEO of another company. Our offices were right beside each other. So we knew of each other, but we'd actually never met while we were in the offices. We actually was in Bangkok when we actually met just that one time. And he was the person that had designed the pandas, but more than that had come up with the idea of, I want to take these pandas and I want them to be able to give people the thought that their privacy will be their privacy. Nobody will be looking in on it. So I looked into what military encryptions that were out there and usable and what I could buy and what I couldn't, what I'd have to create. So he went down that road. He spent, you know, over a couple of years developing the app, developing some other things that had come from other companies that he had owned, a company called Envelope, and they had made all this file transfer shares that were really good for financial institutions and stuff. So some of that technology came over. So they're sitting there, they're telling me the story and everything, and I'm looking at the pandas, and I'm on the 3rd phone call, and I've made a boneheaded decision at that time. I said, gentlemen, I just don't think there's anything unique here. And because of that, I think it's just going to be really hard to go out and market this. You know, it's going to be, you're going to have some serious dollars to go out there and compete with everybody. And then Stolly got on there, and that's the gentleman that actually created the brand and stuff. He said one thing at the end of the conversation. He goes, we do have something unique. We're military encrypted communication. He goes, don't let that go unknown, you know, before you get off this call. And then that night, I just kept having these visions of like a 5-star General Panda saying, you know, pandas line up, report. And from that point on, I started thinking about, you know, what if I was able to create some kind of tokenomics, a tokenomics where if people just use the app, that would be the way in. If they use the app, then they got paid for it. Well, that would be the deal breaker. I mean, if that could actually work, you know, in a tokenomic structure, so we'd have something here. The next day, I barely even slept that night. And I kept thinking of all these pandas and I'm thinking of all these promotions that would be great to get people interested in stuff. So I spent the next basically 1 month going back and forth with Marcus on this idea. And then Marcus takes and coins a really great phrase out of it. And so this is what we actually became. And this is when we became the PunkPanda as we know it right now. His phrase was, use it, share it, own it. And from that point on, we knew that we had a home run. The excitement just started coursing through our veins. We could not go from paper to launch fast enough. And that's basically where we are right now. The app is launched. All the kinks are being worked out of it. And we could not be happier or more proud in the speed that we've done this. And the other thing that we know that we've touched upon the right thing with the right tokenomics, okay, is that we've introduced this to maybe 30, 40 really big leaders around the world. To this date, only 2 have rejected this. Everybody else has found a way, one way or another, to synergistically align themselves with this because it's non-threatening. If you've already got, we're not an MLM or anything. So if you've already got an MLM company, all you got to do is have your people switch over from WhatsApp to PunkPanda. They all get paid. They got another stream of revenue, and that you haven't done anything, but you've given your people another source of revenue. So it's a non-threatening approach to everywhere we go. Some people say, I'm going to put my face on this. This is a great project. And in my mind, when I was designing this, this is the way I envisioned it, that months from now, there will be some woman that will be standing on stage. They're going to be giving her all sorts of accolades, the money that she's made and everything. And she's going to stand there and say, I've never done MLM before in my life. I have never done any sort of crypto. I still don't even know how to withdraw those tokens that are coming to me. My husband does it, every Friday. She goes, but I love it when he cashes them and he shows me that it's $20,000 or it's $30,000. And I couldn't help but think that I could do this project because over the last 6 months I've done this, I've never asked one person for any money. See, it always made me nervous to ask somebody for money. I just couldn't do it. That's why I couldn't do Amway. That's why I couldn't do New Skin. Okay. I just didn't want to bother people. But when I saw this, and I said, this will be the simplest thing I ever introduced in my life. Because what's going to happen here is I'll just ask somebody, hey, are you using the PunkPanda app? It's really successful and it's really a hot item where I'm from. Are you guys using it here? No, what is it? Well, it's this military encrypted communication, just like WhatsApp basically, or Messenger, but nobody's listening in on your information. But forget about all that. That's not why people do it. People are doing it because just by using it and sharing it, they're getting tokens every 30 minutes, just like I am right here. And if you look at this token right now, it's actually listed on some exchanges and it's worth $3.30. Well, I just got 4 of them delivered 30 minutes ago. And 30 minutes before that, 4.5 of them. Plus I got some staked ones here. So I get more. So I'm getting like 7 or 8 of these every single 30 minutes, 24 hours a day, whether I sleep. And people just start grabbing my phone and they take it and they sign up. And how much did I charge them? 0. And she goes, all my leaders, they were able to go. I got a huge Panda Pals organization that use it, share it, own it. And when we have a token, we actually own the company. And she goes, it's changed my life. And that's what I think we're going to be able to do is we're going to be able to change many people's lives because never in network marketing history, never in crypto history have people, they don't have to spend any money, no investment, yet they can make a nice living for themselves, make some dreams actually come true. And I don't know of no other project that could do that. So there's some other things to talk about, but I'm probably sure that you got some more questions. So let's move on to some other questions.
I love everything you said. I mean, that's exactly right. Like I'm here in South America and the average income's like $300 a month. So for people to be able to sit at home and just share with people, hey, there's this really cool new app and they could make $10 a day, $20 a day. That's life-changing. I mean, of course, I talk a lot and I know a lot of people. So I think I made like $3,000 in the first 4 days, because I told so many people about it. So people get paid to share the app. They get paid to use the app. And, if people purchase PPM is PunkPanda money, that's what that stands for, right? PPM.
PunkPanda Messenger, PunkPanda money, PunkPanda.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. The M keeps changing. But
okay,
officially,
okay.
it's
I love what you
Messenger.
said. Yeah, people can make money without spending money and without getting anyone else to spend any money, just by using the app and promoting the app. That one of the questions I get from people, because I post it all the time. I made $3,200 in my first 4 days worth of PPM. I was just like, oh my God, I got to tell all my friends in South Africa and Colombia about this because, we're living in hard times. A lot of people are stuck at home. Maybe they don't want to get the mandated quarantine or whatever, vaccination. So to be able to make even 20 bucks a day from home is life-changing to a lot of people. And you do it all by promoting a free app. So that the question I get, I don't even know exactly how I know I made that money from using it and for promoting it. But the question I get from people is, how do I get paid from using it? Do they clock my time, my minutes, my script? How does that work?
Yeah, it's actually really simple. What happens is we have what's called Panda Pals. So there is no commission paid out or anything like that. But what the Panda Pals formula looks at, it's looking for what's called an X factor. And that X factor is determined by three things. So you've introduced somebody, they've taken your invite code, they've put it in. That person's going to be on your first level. And only those people that are on your first level can you see their name and number when you go to verify that they've actually been introduced by you, okay? Now, they will introduce some people. They'll be on your second level. Now, that first level, it has a multiplying factor of 15. Well, the second level is a multiplying factor of 13. And this goes all the way down to 12 levels. And the 12th level, the multiplying factor is 1. So that's one way we would determine is how many people are on each level multiplied by the factor, because obviously the people are on your level 12, you probably don't even know them, okay? But it's all part to get you your X factor. Well, the next column actually has all the people that are on your first level. How many hours or minutes did they spend using the app, whether it's video call, voice call, sending files, playing on, when we do have the NFT games, playing on the NFT games, that'll be there, using the file transfer systems and things like that. So how much time? Well, any app will show you exactly in your iPhone or your Android. You can go there and you can say, whoa, I spent 17 hours on WhatsApp. I spent 13 hours. It's an easy metric to pull. So it's just all the people added up together. How many hours did they spend on the app over the last 24 hours? Okay.
Got it.
Okay. So it's an easy metric to pull. Okay. So the number of people on each level, easy metric. And that is an easy. Well, then there's one other metric. So everything that we have is free. So we have a free model of the app, which includes that you can send a file 150 megabytes for free. Try that on Gmail, 25 megabytes, you're done. Okay. Try that on WhatsApp, 25 megabytes, you're done. Here, 150 megabytes, and that's all for free. Well, if you want to go over that and you need bigger and better, and like you're an institution, or because the subscription is so cheap, 99 cents for a month, you just pay with your tokens that you got for free anyway. So you pay with the tokens because it's a true utility token that's being used to pay for things that you're probably paying for before you started with this. So when you actually do that, that's a subscription. Okay. Maybe you're going to go on and play the NFT games, okay? And you've spent, $4 of PunkPanda tokens there, okay? So each line, 12 levels down, adds up all the subscriptions. And now those three things give you what's called your X factor, okay? Well, every 30 minutes, there will be 1,050 PunkPanda tokens coming off the smart contract. It'll spend 4 minutes going through and doing all the calculations. And then it's got the next 4 minutes to make all the deliveries. And it does this every 30 minutes. Okay. Now, let's say that you had 1,000 people in your group and I got 1,000 people in my group. We each have the same number of people on each level. Okay. So everything is exactly the same. But my people spent 950 hours on the app over the last 24 hours. Your people only spent 400 hours. My people spent $1,000 in subscriptions last month. Your people only spent 200. My X factor might be 13. Your X factor is going to be like 9, even though we have the same size groups. Okay. Because my group is contributing more to the community than what your group is. So my X factor is higher. So I get like 4 tokens and you only get 3.25. So that's how it's determined every 30 minutes. It's a very fair calculation. And you can see that every metric that is there, it's an easy metric to pull from. So, there's no pulling private data or anything like that. So it's just usage time, subscriptions.
I think it's so cool. I remember it must have been like a year ago, maybe 2 years ago, maybe closer to a year ago. Everybody was talking about these privacy phones, but you had to buy the phone. It was like 1,100 bucks. I bought one. I paid a year in advance, 100 bucks a month. So I paid I think I paid 2,500 bucks. I won't say the name of the company. I flew, I met the CEO. I was sold on it, but I was like, oh man, this is an Android and I'm used to using an Apple. So it was like you had to change your whole user thing and you had to buy a phone and pay a subscription. And I was already in a contract with my phone. And I remember thinking a year ago, year and a half ago, whatever it was, I love the whole idea of privacy because everybody's tired of, these big companies overreaching. And, God, what if my girlfriend sends me a sexy picture? I don't want that floating around or someone to have And so I thought this would be so much better if it was an app and you didn't have to change from Android to or whatever, right?
Yep.
And then you guys did it.
Correct. Absolutely. And with that phone, they were actually going to have a conversation with us about using our app in that phone as being the only app that would be hardwired in because it was the only one that would meet their parameters of being not violating any of the safety issues and privacy issues that they wanted to.
Yeah, well, you guys figured it out. I mean, a free app, that's what people want, the privacy, but they don't want to buy a whole new phone. And I hope that company does great. I don't have anything bad to say about them, but a free app and not having to change operating systems, that's what people want. And so, it's funny. I made a 2.5 minute video about Panda and I was just like, not even thinking. I tried to send it on WhatsApp and you get this little yellow square and I'll cut it down to 90 seconds. I'm like, I can't take 2.5 minutes and cut it down to 90 seconds. I tried it on Facebook Messenger, same thing. It's like the only way you can send. So the value of the product, having this super privacy, not having to get a new phone, not having to switch operating systems. It's just so cool. I absolutely love the tech.
Correct. Yes. And just because of the tech and everything that we're doing is that wholeheartedly, there's 3 of us that believe that PunkPanda will bring more non-crypto people into this project than any project ever before. If you just sit back and think about it for a second, there's a lot more people that are outside crypto that are inside crypto. And because of that, when we actually go out there, people are first and foremost that when this goes mainstream, they're going to be doing it for the actual privacy. Yeah, they know some tokens are coming there, but they don't really understand that. And it's not really the reason that they're doing it. But once those tokens are there and they're happy with the app, and it's really actually bothersome to me, and it's bothersome to a lot of my friends when you actually say this. Maybe people weren't aware of it until you actually say it, and then they become highly aware of it. Okay, I had a friend that was deployed in the military. He went back for 30 days. He got his wife pregnant. About a month later, she's talking to him. She has not sent a message. She has not sent an email. It was simply talking to him over WhatsApp. I'm pregnant. The very next day, she starts getting advertising that says expecting mothers and all these other things.
Right.
Yes, because there's bots and the bots are actually listening there. They're not recording everything, but they're listening for keywords like pregnancy, puppy, things like that. And if this is the first time you're hearing that, you'll start noticing it right away. Just Google something and see the advertising come. Yep.
No, it's nuts. Yeah, everybody wants more privacy. I mean, this is the coolest app ever. I texted all my friends in South Africa, all my friends in Colombia. They're going nuts, texting everybody about it. And yeah, to be able to make money, promoting an app that's free. And I know that right now it's pre-ICO, so it's not publicly on exchanges yet. And it's first going to be listed, I think, on Pancake. Is that right?
Correct. Yes. We are a BEP20 token. Yep. On the Binance Smart Chain. Gas fees are very, very, very cheap. Everything's very, very fast. Yep. And one of the things that we're really proud about this is that we have spent a lot of time and a lot of effort. And some people appreciate this and some people don't appreciate it. For the ones that don't, then we're not for you during this phase. We'll be for you after we're on Pancake. Okay. What we've done is we did 6 steps to make sure that the token would always keep its value or rise up, because there's a very low supply. Okay. And there's going to be very high demand. And one of the things is we actually have 5 products. We could roll out 4 of the products all on day one. But our step 1 is to roll out this messaging app. It's still in beta. We're like a day or 2 away from the final version where wallet is there, contact sync, all the little glitches we've been dealing with for the last 4 or 5 days. They're all fixed now. They're all done. And then it'll be like any app, every now and then there'll be a new update to fix this or add this and add this or that. So that's all done. People can now go to punkpanda.com. They can see all of their people, the affiliates, the levels, everything. The smart contract gets launched within the next 36 hours. On the 15th will be the first time somebody opens up their phone and they see in their wallet tokens were delivered for the 1,000 people that they have in their Panda pals. So all of those mechanisms, because we decided to mint the token. So there's only 2,100 tokens that can come into circulation every 30 minutes. Okay. We're not going to be a pump and dump. There's no way somebody can buy a whole bunch of tokens during this ICO, go over them and dump them, because we have very stringent limits on what people can withdraw. We were not going to allow people to buy something for 10 cents or 30 cents, and then immediately 5 days later go over and sell it for $1 and drive all the price down. So it was the furthest thing for our mind. And when some people have come back, we said, listen, we're just not for you, but we appreciate it. But we're not one of those that, hey, you can jump in today and cash out tomorrow. We are a 15-year plan plus another 15 years sitting behind that, because our DAO is going to run for the next 15 years. And the other thing that we did is that we made the 5 products. So as those products are released, well, it takes tokens to get subscriptions to them. Every one of them, just like Zoom, you can do free Zoom, but if you want some more bells and whistles and the upgrade premiums, you got to pay a small subscription. But instead of paying $14.99, it'll be much better to pay $4.99, $5.99, and pay with the tokens that you just received. So each one of these things that are rolled out, they will have a subscription to them, but they'll have a free model, just like Zoom, Dropbox, and everything like that.
Got it. Well, so cool. You guys have really thought of everything. I mean, I love the tech, you know, the whole concept with the tokens and everything, super cool. Everybody's loving it. Everyone's talking about it. I get hit up every day by people, and, you know, I'm just super excited. Glad that I met you guys. Twan's such a great guy. And my friend Brian that told me about it has a huge amount of credibility. Right. So I couldn't be more excited about the project. Is there any questions, anything you think that I left out? I'm trying to think of what else I can tell people. It's a super app. It's WhatsApp on steroids. Send large files, super military grade encryption. Right. The little Panda is so cool. During quarantine, I gave myself a faux hawk. So when I saw it, I was like, I am the Panda. That's me. So I totally identify with the brand and love it. I just think it's the coolest thing ever. You got Panda Vault, Panda Palace, Panda, all these different things. Correct. I don't know what I can say and not say, but anything that I left out that we should tell anybody.
I think maybe to give people an idea of the actual security of this, let's say that the CIA came to our front office door and knocked it in and said, listen, this gentleman, Peter, he's a bad guy. He's doing bad things. We need information on him. And what we would have to do at that time is we'd have to say, gentlemen, please go get the proper subpoena. When our attorney has seen it and that it is a proper subpoena from the correct country, we do want to comply. But unfortunately, even if I saw Peter commit murder and I want to help the FBI or I want to help the CIA, because I know he's bad and I actually witnessed him do it, there's nothing I can do. There's nothing any of us can do, because what it is, it's like a private key to a Bitcoin wallet. Unless Peter gives that Bitcoin, that private key, nobody will see his messages. Nobody will see his photos. We don't even have access. So we can never see anybody's private information. The only thing we'd be able to do to help law enforcement is to give them the IP address and give them the mobile number. That's the only information that we would have. So that kind of gives you an idea of the type of security that we're actually dealing with here and stuff. And the documents for this, because there's been conversations and there's some documentation from the US military. And it's basically, it's all crypto people know this. It's an SHA 256 security. So you have a private key, nobody. When you log out, like if you and I were keeping media between us, like you can on certain messengers, if we logged out, all those messages are gone. Nothing is stored on servers. It's all vaporized before it hits servers and stuff. So everything is confidentially your information and your information only. So we know that because of this, we're going to have a huge following, a very huge following.
So cool. Well, it's spreading like wildfire. I mean, we're on what? I don't even know, day 15 of marketing. I mean, this is like, correct, yes. People are always like, oh, I wish I heard about it sooner. It doesn't get any sooner.
No, it doesn't. No, that it doesn't. And yeah, we're looking so forward to the next few days, because the smart contract being launched and everything going on there. And the pre-sale will be finishing up here very soon. We're at about the 60% mark right this second. And then all the new products will be rolled out just as it says on the roadmap. Every one of those products will be done by Q2 of 2022. It's right around the corner.
So cool. Well, Albert, I know you're crazy busy. I'm so honored I was able to get you on a call. I mean, you and Marcus have got to be just like, you got to feel like pre-Mark Zuckerberg days. Everybody wants to call you, wants to talk to you. So thanks for taking some time out for us.
It's a great feeling. And especially coming from somebody as yourself, with all the trainings that you've done around the world and stuff, and your with your credentials and stuff like that, it means a lot to us and stuff. And yep, that's the one thing that with Marcus and Stolly, and as you've seen yourself, we're just down to earth, and we just want to see the person that worked really hard but never succeeded. This is going to be the one where they have success, and for sure, they won't destroy any friendships, because once I've introduced 1,000 people into this, all those people, all of them put together, they invested exactly $0.
The coolest part.
Yes.
The coolest part.
Yes, it is.
Well,
I have to pinch
it.
myself that can actually happen, that people can go out and make money, but never collect a single dollar from anybody.
Well, you got to send me the Panda art. I'm gonna get T-shirts and hats made here in Columbia and get everybody wearing PunkPanda T-shirts and hats.
Yes, yep. And that's the other thing. Is just it creates a fun environment, just a really fun environment. It does.
It's such a cool brand.
Yes.
Well, cool, man. I'll let you go. I know it's got to be getting late over there in the Philippines.
We are now at 2:00 in the morning.
Oh my gosh, go. Thank you for your time. You're the best.
What? It's like you said, when you sit here and you think about when you've lost some sleep, because we've lost a lot of sleep bringing this to the market. We had no idea that the overwhelming rush we would get from people like you and people that said, you know what, this could really be the start of something really, really big. We've just heard it time after time. When you wake up that next morning with 1 hour sleep or 2 hours sleep, it's still just so exciting, because we're on the verge of doing something here that nobody else has done. When you, I think one thing we should cover real quick, when you have a token, you actually have ownership with us. That's one thing we've kind of left off here. The use it, share it, own it. Okay.
Right.
Yes. Let's say 5 years from now, we've built ourselves up into a base of over 400, 600 million. Well, that means we're worth over 25 billion to maybe even up to $50 billion evaluation. And because of our privacy, let's say Bezos from AWS, because of his secure service, and said, hey, that app would work great with my secure, and I got other add-ons I would like to get into that database with. He has to take control of the DAO, because we're actually a decentralized autonomous organization. So we have the DAO that's going to deliver those tokens for the next 15 years, and there's nothing that can stop that. Well, he would have to come in and start buying up the tokens. So that's going to be at a premium price. Every token you sell to him is like selling a share of the company. Think about this. When WhatsApp sold for $19 billion to Facebook, did they go back to the early people that started with it and say, hey, here's billions of dollars to you guys, because we would have never got there if it hadn't been for you enthusiastically backing us and referring other people. So thank you so much, and going through all the glitches that we had. Well, that's actually what we're doing. Imagine all the years that you used WhatsApp, Dropbox, any of those, and you could open up your phone and see tokens in there that were just worth thousands of dollars today. That's what it's going to be like with us. So Jeffrey Bezos buys, but guess what's going to happen after he buys? Because he's bought the tokens that are in supply, so he can make the votes and decide, hey, I want to put this down through the database. He can't shut the DAO off, because nobody can. It's a smart contract. It will run for 15 years no matter what. And he wouldn't want to. It's the thing that made everything very successful. Well, 30 minutes later, after you've sold every single token to him at a premium, 30 minutes later, because your Panda Pals team is still there, you're going to get delivered more tokens. And 30 minutes later, more tokens. And that's what makes it really cool, is people actually have ownership in this, with just owning one token, 2 tokens, 3 tokens. So the tokens actually represent the share in the company. With that, I think we'll say good night, and look forward to meeting each and every one of you as you come on board.
Awesome. Well, we'll see you, Punk family, Punk Panda family. Thanks, Albert, for your time.
Okay. And as Marcus always likes to do, I'm going to try to copy this the best I can. Punk Panda out.
I love it.
Okay.
See you guys.